like to see us support Marcy, but the Death Prophet plus Marcy combination, certainly that amount of damage is going to be there in the team fights, and it might just overwhelm Ivory, as Caestensz are going to go for the Zeus as well. So Thunder God's Wrath, the Fury from the Marcy, and the Exorcism from the Death Prophet is going to be doing a whole lot. Meanwhile, Team Ivory, they go for the Void Spirit and the Warlock. Now, over on the mid lane, Queen of Pain, Death Prophet, pretty even matchup, I would say, and a very skill-based matchup too. The Queen of Pain can come out quite ahead if you're able to land your screams correctly. I don't think this is going to be a max Shadow Strike game. You can also blink out of the Spirit Siphon, so overall Queen of Pain does do pretty well. And Caestensz are actually not thinking about sending a Death Prophet down the mid position. They actually picked themselves up an Ember Spirit. So Ember versus Queen of Pain, slightly favoring the Queen of Pain there, just because you can dish out those Scream of Pains, burn through the Ember's Flame Guard if he chooses to pick that up, and if not, just keep your distance, throw out those Scream of Pains occasionally, and you should be able to deal enough damage. Now, the Ember Spirit Style of Fish, when approaching the level 5 mark, when you do have 3 points in the Sleight of Fist, does a lot of damage to the Queen of Pain. So equally, Team Ivory's mid laner can also get zoned out from the Ember Spirit. It's slightly favoring the Queen of Pain, but at the end of the day, it is a skill-based matchup, and I wonder where the DP is going to go. Probably towards that offlane, right? It is going to be an offlane Death Prophet coupled up with a Zeus. And for both of these teams, they are missing their carry. And I did not see this, but the Team Ivory actually have a Void Spirit too. So I have no idea where they are going to be sending their mid laner, or who their mid laner is actually going to be playing. I do expect this to be a Void Spirit mid, simply because Queen of Pain can arguably be played on different roles, but the Void Spirit simply cannot. Or is this a Queen of Pain offlane? This is a very, very unusual kind of draft. Now, both teams do have very squishy heroes, and one of these teams is probably going to be going for that Swen. I wonder if that's going to be Team Ivory. They are the ones with the Warlock Fatal Bonds, so that Swen pickup could
10 seconds remaining.
Could be really good for their own side. Meanwhile, it can be equally good for Caestensz as well. They have a Death Prophet, so in the duration of that God Strength, I don't think Team Ivory would be able to contest or would be able to trade. So perhaps we might just be seeing a Swen. Meanwhile, you could potentially go for you could potentially go for a Slark as well if you are over at Caestensz. You can jump on that Warlock and that Tusk, and even make sure that the Void Spirit can't get that Astral Step off, the Queen of Pain can't get that Blink off, so the Slark does seem like a pretty good pick over here. Meanwhile, you also have the Ursa at the ready if Caestensz want to be going for that. Again, though, most of the carries don't exactly have a high HP pool. Caestensz, meanwhile, they're going to go for that Gyrocopter. I wonder how Ivory is going to respond. Again, very squishy heroes means that heroes like the Ursa will be pretty successful. Even a hero like the Swen, if you want to take it to the late game, because that's what Caestensz are looking towards. But Ivory are not content with that. They are going to be going for a Pangolier. So I wonder who their carry is going to be. It is Team Ivory who their position 1 Gohan. I'm not too sure. I don't know what his in-game nick is. So it's Aizen, and Aizen is playing the Void Spirit. So is it really going to be a carry Void Spirit? Not too sure of how I feel about that one. I have never seen this before. Genuinely never seen this before. And for Caestensz, they have that late game insurance. They have the Gyrocopter. So if a hero that can flash farm, so if he gets his farm up, towards the late game, I do think Ivory are going to have a few problems. Of course, we will see how the actual game pans out. But for both these sides, I would like to think that Ivory, because they've gone for this kind of lineup, they should be looking to fight very early on, perhaps even as early as the 12 to 15 minute mark. Because, I mean, they have a Queen of Pain, they have a Void Spirit and a Pangolier, all heroes that are designed to fight. And quite simply, they cannot take this game late. There is no way they win against Caestensz past that 35-minute mark outside of just snowballing, right? If they haven't already snowballed by then, they're going to be in a world of trouble. They don't have the carry to face up against the gyrocopter. And we will head into the game now. There we go. Nice little friendly banter as CJ is confident, or I believe... I'm just gonna call him CJ, I think. I see that CJ is bringing up some bad memories. Yeah, losing to finals is something that no team really wants. And considering the prize pool difference, right? It is a $10,000 at the end of it all. And I believe first place gets around $5,000 and second gets around $3,000. So it's a $2,000 boost if you win that grand final. Meanwhile, potential wraparound can be seen. I wonder if they're going to be going for that. There are only 3 heroes here, and the rest of the 4 from Caestensz are placed up here. CJ is going to move forward. Meanwhile, Ivory are still in the guise of that smoke. They will be revealed, and that observer ward, should they move a bit towards the left, they are going to be spotted out. I do believe Grims is under vision, so at the end of it, it's not really going to be anything to be found for the side of Ivory. And Zeus is just going to TP towards that lane, and CJ is going to walk up here. Or rather, I think they both TP'd towards the lane here. This is a pretty weak lane, I will say this. Juju may have the Thunder God's Wrath, but very limited mana usage. He's going to be able to throw it down a few times, and then he's quickly going to run out of mana. Meanwhile, this lane for Ivory should be getting stronger by the level, and past the level 3 mark, it should be a situation where Rapido and Drake are going to be able to get a kill on Juju, or even CJ. Of course, they will have to be careful about the damage coming in from that Rocket Barrage. I mean, the magical damage from this lane is pretty significant against them, so they will have to be just a little bit careful. Meanwhile, towards that bot side, Leon on that Death Prophet is the one going off lane, being supported by Surreal on that Marcy. And I have never seen a Void Spirit carry, so I'm not too sure about how this lane is going to go. I do know that we were talking about the similarities between the Void Spirit versus the Death Prophet as a mid lane matchup, so I suppose it'll be similar with like 2 heroes added into the mix, the Marcy and the Warlock. And Aizen should have the safety of the heals coming in from Grims, so should be doing alright. Has the ability to essentially spirit away, disseminate away from the Spirit Siphon, so that's something that he can possibly use to be getting away. He's going to go make a move on towards Leon, but instantly going to get pulled back by Surreal. But it seems like the Spirit Siphon is going to come out too. Neither side giving an inch. They want to trade blow for blow and make sure that they come out ahead. Overall, though, Spirit actually brought in Surreal, but he is in the safety of his tier 1 tower. Does have the Shadow Ward on him, but I think he's going to be quite alright. Does have a salve as well, so he's going to be popping it and will be regenerating back to nearly full HP. Ken, meanwhile... Oh, first blood being taken by Ivory. It seems like they were able to grab it, and Marcy didn't go for the full heal. Now Leon has the chance to get that trade and will do so by that swarm. And can he actually hold his ground over here? Grims may actually end up with a kill of his own. It's going to be a 2-for-1. Or rather, yeah, it is a 2-for-1 over on that bot side, favoring Team Ivory just a little bit, as they may have gotten themselves the first blood, but they also did lose their carry there. Going to be back into the lane. Meanwhile, Azor very low, and Queen of Pain can choose to bottle, or rather use the stick, blink in to use that Scream of Pain. There is no Sleight of Fist available, so Ken should be using that Shadow Strike. Of course, the Sleight of Fist is there now, but he actually blinked inside of the tower. I don't know if that was a misclick, as he's going to end up giving Azor a freebie. That's not what you want out of this lane, and Queen of Pain was doing such an incredible job, but with this death, seems like Azor will be able to bottle himself up to nearly full HP, has around half the mana. But now, with Drake here, it seems like Azor really did not expect Ken to come back this quickly, as he got hit now by that Blood Grenade too. And one Scream of Pain, one hit is going to be the way that Ken is going to be able to recover into this lane. So both sides playing just a tad bit too sloppy. And ideally, you don't want to be giving away kills like this. I mean, the Ember Spirit did a great job towards punishing Ken's misstep, but it seems like he made a misstep of his own and is going to get taken down for it. 3-2 now. So far, neither team actually showing any kind of dominance, and it's looking like it's pretty even. Of course, at the end of it all, you do have a gyrocopter who's farming, and now again Azor underestimating Thuskar's presence. Drake is going to be here. A few swipes is going to be the way that he picks up that kill. Marcy, who TP'd into the Ember Spirit's aid, won't be able to do anything, and this is a huge blow to Caestensz, as their Ember Spirit does not have boots and does not have that teleport scroll at the ready. He's going to be at the mercy, or rather he's going to be forced to make that walk of shame as he heads back over to the lane. We'll use the Smoke of Deceit for that added movement speed buff, but it's still it's pretty ugly. Ivory significantly ahead thanks to all of this. I wonder if Drake will be making any more moves towards that mid lane. Doesn't seem like it. He's content with the lead that he has been able to generate for his mid laner. Ken needs to be careful. He might get rooted and brought in, of course. Does have that blink. Will be using a nice play there. Keeping himself on the edge, but recognizing the limits of his hero. He's able to take down Surreal free of cost, and will end up going down, but still, at the end of it, that is a win for that Queen of Pain. Got the level 6 and was able to use the level 6 as soon as possible. And that's going to be back online in about 70 seconds. Ideally, you didn't want to be giving that trade, but it was the only way he could have actually made that kill happen if he didn't use a blink to reposition. I see all of you in the comment section are also a bit confused about the Void Spirit carry. Unfortunately, I share in that confusion. Who knows? Who knows? Perhaps Aizen is onto something. You know, he skewed himself up that Radiance. Not the most ideal of heroes to be going for it, as he can. The problem is, okay, it may be a good carry hero, or it may be, there may be a certain build where, oh, I have to hold that thought, is Rapido charging his Rolling Thunder. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, will be able to make this way on towards the carry of Caestensz, and will be able to take him down. Now is on towards Juju. Thanks to Drick's damage output, they should be able to take him down. The tag team did come in handy there, as they try to make their way towards Marcy. They want a third kill here. Surreal is slowed down, more so by that blood grenade as well, and with the golem there too, the snowball is going to be enough. Grims will pick up that kill courtesy of the golem, and Ivory are
Radiant's middle tower is
kind of winning all three lanes. Even though their void spirit, they have a natural weakness in their lineup, but still they're making it work. And now Rapido wants to be going back in. CJ TP'd himself over here, but this time around they may be able to turn around. Ken coming in with that sonic wave will be able to take down the Zeus, but Caestensz were able to hold their ground, bring Leon in. I don't think the Death Prophet all mattered all that much, as he seems to have walked into his grave. Eisen is here, he is level 6, but the Spirit Siphon, the heals coming in. Ken does have a level 3 Shadow Strike, so Leon has no choice but to stand his ground, and perhaps he may be able to find a return. He heals so much from that Spirit Siphon. Oh man, he was able to hold his ground against 3 heroes. Azur from the backline has another remnant, but there are 3 heroes from Ivory here. A level 3 Scream to Sonic Scream of Pain, and Grims will be able to pick himself up a killing spree, and Azur will fall as well. This top side is looking like it's a bit of a bloodbath for both sides here. Of course, Ivory are the ones who are in charge of this. They are the ones in control, will be able to pick themselves up that Death Prophet too. So it's, I think they were able to take down all of the cores apart from the Gyrocopter who just went back. Yeah, the Gyrocopter didn't end up dying over there. Instead chose to go move a bit back, reposition, and then head on towards this bot side against Eisen. And does have the rocket barrage too, so Eisen really needs to be careful. CJ is going to go for it. Eisen forced to go for that astral step, and CJ is trying to hunt him down. In the end though, he will let the Void Spirit go. Eisen, no astral step for about 5 seconds. There is a homing missile on his tail, and the Thunder God's Wrath coming out, of course, to dissimulate. He'll be able to dodge it out, and now Ivory are in the perfect position to actually take a fight over here. They might be able to find someone, but the Marcy is here too. Grims is going to be the first one to fall. Azor coming in, and he's going to try and chase that Void Spirit down. Meanwhile, Leon was able to get himself a double kill. Will be punished by that Void Spirit, and the Marcy to fall too. So far, it is just a 2 for 2, but this favors Ivory because they only lost their supports. In exchange, they were able to take down the offlaner from Caestensz, and now an output, or rather an outpost play. Rapido channeling his Rolling Thunder, charging forward with that barrel, and CJ, he's good with the jukes, I will say that. And with the teleport coming in from Azor, it seems like Rapido is going to be making a move back. Surreal though came in with that Ember Spirit and will be bringing him back. That homing missile on to Rapido is going to mean that the Fangolier falls. 14 for 10 is the kill feed, and we're only 11 minutes in, so it's more than 2 kills per minute happening as towards that mid lane. You do have Queen of Pain, Ken, with 3 points in his Shadow Strike and 4 points in his Scream of Pain. So that's a 4-1-4 build. That is the way to go about it. You do see more Queen of Pains choosing to keep their blink at the level 1 mark. The higher reward play, should you make it work, even though it comes with a higher risk as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ken has himself the Arcane Rune, and also Grimm's coming in with that Shadow Ward will be giving Ken the necessary heal. I think Juju is dead. Ken is going to go for the blink forward and a Sonic Wave to finish that Zeus off. Meanwhile, Drake fell towards that top side to the Gyrocopter, but not before he was able to take the carry out himself. So Ivory again on the lead there, 4,000 in terms of net worth. We'll switch over to it. Gyrocopter is leading the net worth chart though, so that is the win that Caestensz will be able to get out of this laning phase. Predictably, I did think that both of these teams are going to be going at it. I did think that Ivory are the ones who are going to be putting in the pressure so far. That pressure has gone unchallenged right now. Caestensz, even though they have put up bouts of resistance, it's not been enough because Ivory have been the clear leaders of those exchanges. Aizen. Astro stepped forward on towards Leon, but quickly needs to be getting out. Azor wasn't able to land his searing chains, and with the shard coming in, it seems like they will be able to reposition. Ken is actually here with a Shadow Strike on towards Neon, and I heard the Rolling Thunder, a 3-man Sonic Wave on Caestensz, and they are going to melt. 2 heroes have already fallen. The Rapido with that Rolling Thunder trying to catch someone out, but instead is going to eat a homing missile. CJ is here, but it does not matter. Caestensz have lost 3 heroes, and without their Death Prophet, they simply can't fight. Ivory on the lead here. I wouldn't say it's too much because of the Void Spirit, but just bringing in their Queen of Pain, bringing in Rick, who seems to be everywhere all at once. I wonder, he has 10 assists at the 14-minute mark, so certainly pulling some overtime on his hero, and I do think that Caestensz should be looking to pick things up. They are faced up against the Void Spirit carry of all heroes, so there is a big window before Aizen is able to get his Radiance, but it's going to be a massive power spike, particularly against that Gyrocopter. Not a lot of other heroes present on Caestensz that the Radiance will be effective against. And I do mean the missed chance, the blind coming in from that Radiance. Of course, the damage, the AoE damage may be good. It's better, it's a better more useful team to farm up more than anything else, but and also for cancelling Blink Daggers. But now, Caestensz making their way towards that boss side. Azur is leading the fray. Can he actually get the steering chains off? He will. Zeus to come in, the Crypt Swarm 2, and that's going to be a dead Void Spirit. No hope for him. The Caestensz were able to make the few chain lock abilities they had work out, and towards that top side, it's going to be a trade on the carry. So carry for carry going down, and Ivory were able to even out that exchange. Ken blinking forward on that Ember Spirit. Azor needs to be careful. There is the Sonic Wave available for the Queen of Pain. Now towards that mid side, a 2-man Sonic Wave on Juju. It's going to be cleaning him up. Meanwhile, there is the first exorcism that I've seen this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures.
Azor slowed down there almost to a halt. The Thunder God's Wrath is going to mean that Rapido falls a bit low, and with Leon coming in towards that backline, his exorcism is going to run out. Ken blinking forward, not too sure if that's the place where he wants to be. Grims is going to be forced to use that golem, but it won't save Ken's life. He's going to get taken down by that Thunderbolt, and now Rapido charging that Rolling Thunder. Azor is going to get stunned up and taken down. Caestensz though, they need to get away. Leon does not have that exorcism. Surreal is going to actually bring that Death Prophet forward. Not too sure if that's the position he wants to actually be in, as Drake can find a snowball. He has the Walrus Punch at the ready. Ivory
Dire's top tower is under attack.
on that tier 2 tower. Aizen has the full radiance at the ready now. And they should be able to take this tier 2 tower without too much
Dire's
exchange.
top tower has fallen.
Towards that mid side though, again being siphoned, but we'll be able to find that blink out. A race to the power rune, it's a haste, and Ken will be able to pick himself up. Now I wonder if Caestensz will be able to punish this though. Fortunately, Ken has too much movement speed, and I wonder if they'll make a play on these heroes here. Again, blinking forward, again, just a bit of damage on towards Azor. Meanwhile, it's actually an attempt on that gyrocopter. CJ towards that boss side is got out by 3 heroes. He may be able to throw down his ultimate, but it won't matter as Ken comes in. And Caestensz look to punish, but damage has already been done. And this is actually going to give Rapido the ability to actually chase forward. He has a blink dagger on towards Juju, is going to be able to stun him down. The snowball to cancel the teleport from that Marcy. He is going to fall, and it's going to be a 3-0 as Rapido is on a dominating streak, and that's going to be 700 gold going the other way and around 1500 experience. Ivory are on a 9,000 net worth lead, and that's not looking good. Doesn't bode well for Caestensz here. They need their gyrocopter to be able to farm up, but so far he's died about 4 times already, only has a chrysalis, and once he gets a scepter, sure, his farming speed should amplify, but Ivory are in the position where they can take even more objectives and box Caestensz in before that mid game mark, or before that mid to late game mark. So well on their way to fulfilling their win condition, which is just to be able to secure this game as quickly as possible, make their way towards the high ground before that 30-minute mark, before the gyrocopter is able to come online and dish out some damage. Because I do think at the end of the day, the gyrocopter is a much better late game carry against compared to the Void Spirit. I don't think the DPS coming out from the gyro is going to be matched by the Void Spirit in any way. So Ivory are playing in a race against time here. Will be making their way towards the Tormentor. Wonder who this will go towards. Probably Grims or the Tusk. Yeah, it's Drake who's going to be picking up that shard. So it's a nice little upgrade for him, who has one of the better shards in the game, I will say. Just getting out of that shard, that upgraded shard, is so difficult if you don't have some teleportation ability or something like a 4-star, for example, which I don't think anyone from Caestensz even possesses. Their supports are aggressive in nature and so have gone for some aggressive items.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Shrine of Wisdom going to be stolen on the other side, but it's still at the end of it going to be a 1-for-1. Drake is actually going to spot out the fact that the shrine was stolen and will find himself a neat little Marcy who activates that Fury, but doesn't matter. Fury is not going to be enough. He is surrounded here, and Ken will be able to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, Azor and the rest of Caestensz were able to find themselves the offlaner. They found a Pangolier in the wild there, were able to take him down, but might actually end up getting punished here. But so far it's a Void Spirit who's going to be taking a bit of flag. The Golem is going to be thrown out by Grims, and now Void Spirit just will give him the space to actually make a move on Juju. He needs to be a bit careful though, and with Ken coming in, turns out he's going to have the backup that he requires. Ivory are going to be able to take down Leon, and Caestensz are unable, quite simply, to put up a fight here. And Ivory are going to be making their move towards the second tier 2 tower of Caestensz, with the Death Prophet being down for about 30 seconds, and I would say I haven't exactly seen too many exorcisms. I think I've only seen 1 exorcism the entire game, and we are 22 minutes in. It is a team fighting ability, more so than the pushing or objective push based ability that it was a few years ago, but they really do need to pop that exorcism if they want to be fighting. Of course, the Death Prophet has that scepter, so at the end of it, there are some spirits flying around, but not nearly enough to be actually taking down Ivory. to pick themselves up that second tier 2 tower and are now going to be making a move towards that tier 2 tower bot side. Ember Spirit maybe in a bit of trouble. Drake blinks forward, finds that Walrus Punch, and nice synergy coming in from Ivory.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Now going to make their way towards the last tier 2 tower, and then they're going to be able to box.
Dire's bottom tower.
They're going to be able to box Caestensz into their high ground.
Tower has fallen.
There is a Roshan up for grabs though, so Ivory can look towards picking themselves up that Aegis and then go high ground. And with the flash jump that Ivory have, right, with how quickly they are able to make their way onto Caestensz and how quickly they are able to burst someone down, that high ground is going to be a difficult place to defend for Caestensz. And Ivory have another option to play on that high ground, and that option is baiting out or forcing out that exorcism, repositioning, and then going back in once the exorcism is on cooldown. Of course, so Caestensz have made their way towards that triangle, a place where Ivory want them to be. CJ is going to be locked in that crosshair. Ivory descend upon Caestensz, a sonic wave to be thrown out, and two heroes instantly fall. Leon, of course, did activate his exorcism. The question is, can he actually do anything with the golem dropping down from Grimm's there? The warlock may fall, but Caestensz are going to pay a heavy price for this. It is going to be 3 heroes that are dead. Only the Ember Spirit and the Zeus are alive here. They don't have buyback. Only the Death Prophet does, but again, Death Prophet does not have the exorcism, so even if you buy back, you won't be able to bring much to the table. And Ivory recognized this. They go in full force, even behind that tier 3 tower. The Ember Spirit does come back online, almost finding that Dusk. Drake being able to exit that tier 3 at just 100 HP. This will force Ivory back just a little bit. Of course, I think they are still too low to be able to make a move towards Roshan, so they won't be able to get that Aegis. Or, I believe they picked up that Aegis. No, they haven't picked up the Aegis. Roshan is safely towards that top side. And Ken, Azor does have that remnant, so Ken won't be able to find the skill unless someone else joins him. Does force Ember back though at the end of it. Drake. We'll see Azor. The Rolling Thunder. It won't be coming out, but Aizen? They want an opening. They want a few kills before they make their way towards that high ground. They find the D ward, so at least they have some kind of opening, some kind of way to go in. Of course, Caestensz are going to have the information though. They know that Ivory are inside of this Roche pit. Can they mount up a response? Surreal will find that D ward, but so far, no move being made. Roshan down to about 4,000 HP. It's around half health. The Thunder God's Wrath to come out too, but it's going to reveal the fact that Ivory are no longer inside of that Roche pit. They're going to make their way towards that lane. That's Azor. He goes in, but he's going to get intercepted by Rapido. Azor falls so quick, and with 2 heroes dying instantly. Caestensz are unfortunately not on the same page as to what they want to be doing. They were not able to back anyone up, and now they're even getting pinged out. Drink blinks forward, finds CJ there, and will allow the rest of Ivory to come in. Aizen is there, the BKB to come out from the gyrocopter. Can this Apache do anything other than just teleport out? Turns out he's just going to go for the safe play, or he's going to run with his tail between his legs, as Ivory just brought in too much firepower. He does have a scepter though at the end of it, and we'll talk a bit about that after this Aegis is picked up. will be interesting to see who they prioritize. It is going to be Aizen on that Warrior Spirit, who already had a Manta style, so not a lot of danger. And again, Rapido goes forward, finds the Diffusal Blade on towards CJ. His team is coming in, so even though he'll get hit by that homing missile, it might not be in fact, it was enough to actually take down his life here. And now Aizen struggling to find anyone. Will Manta style and dispel that silence. Meanwhile, Ken is going to come in towards that backline. The Sonic Wave is going to be thrown out too, and CJ no BKB means he's going to end up dying. 3 heroes are going to end up falling as soon as Tsunami ends up taking a bow, but in fact it's Caestensz who have something to show on that high ground. It is going to be Ken's death that they managed to garner or grab up for themselves, and Leon will pick that one up. So he got a wicked 6 streak and in fact has a BKB, so a lot of survivability being added now to Caestensz there. And that Exorcism is going to do a whole lot once you add in 9 seconds of debuff immunity. Leon, does he really want to be revealing himself on the lane? Astro step forward by Aizen. Drake is there too. A snowball to finish this Death Prophet off, and that is a huge mistake being made by Caestensz. This opens up the bot lane of Rax. All Ivory need to do is consolidate their lineup towards this position. So far, it's just Aizen on that high ground. Step forward on towards the Zeus. Quite potentially can find CJ. However, he has ran out of mana. He's going to get pulled back, and that's his first life going the way of Caestensz. He has another one, so perhaps he can find the Astro Step out. Is struggling to do so. Does eventually find it, and now with that Rolling Thunder being propped up, he has successfully baited Caestensz into a fight here. Ken is going to blink in as well. Meanwhile, CJ activating his BKB, holding his ground, but it's going to eat a Sonic Wave. Ken over on that backline was able to clean up 2 of these heroes, and maybe even able to find more, as it doesn't seem like Ivory are going to take a step back anytime soon. The buyback does come out from the Marcy, but it's 3 heroes down currently. Ivory on that high ground will be able to just take down that tier 3 tower and potentially even take down this bot lane of Rax. The Exorcism is online though, and Leon, he may want to be going for it. Turns out he's going to get intercepted by Drake and will just be going back to the fountain. A bit of a warning shot sent out by Team Ivory there. They are committed towards taking down this lane of Rax and probably going to end up going back. I say that, but they aren't exactly going back. Okay, they did go back. They took the scenic route out. Towards that mid side. Ivory looking for a way in. Once again, I wonder if they're going to be waiting for that Aegis, but with their positioning, they are inching forward towards Caestensz there. They're probably going to spot out that Marcy, the Rolling Thunder being channeled up. Aizen has managed to grab that Marcy, and with Ken coming in, throwing out that Sonic Wave, they're going to be able to take him down. Meanwhile, the Zeus Juju is also in a bit of trouble, has no jaunt out, so he's going to die. Leon, meanwhile, there's that BKB, there is that Exorcism, but just simply, it's all a bit lackluster as Caestensz lack the lineup here, lack the heroes. They are only 3 heroes up. And that means Ivory are going to be pushing past that throne and will be able to find themselves that Death Prophet. And the 2 heroes alive for Caestensz are going to be forced to put up a fight here. It is the last hurrah, it is the last Hail Mary, but another Sonic Wave coming out there. And the Gyrocopter's BKB has ran out. There is simply nothing more that Caestensz are going to be able to do. They are going to throw the GG call out there. Team Ivory take game number 1 in this best of 3 against Caestensz in a very single-handed fashion. even though they had a dubious Void Spirit pick, it ended up working out for them. Ken on that Queen of Pain played like an absolute beast, and of course I do think that the MVP for the game is going to be that Tosca, who towards the early game was just able to do so much, just able to find rotations, able to actually... We all saw that moment where Ember Spirit on that mid lane died without that teleport, forced to walk back into the lane. That was Drick on that Tusk who made all that happen. And it seems like he was everywhere all at once and was able to find the rotations, able to successfully win. I mean, the win condition was that Ivory needed to finish this game within that 35-minute mark, which ended up happening. They were able to take down those objectives. Of course, guys, that was just game number 1. We will be back for game number 2 right after a short break. Don't go anywhere. This is your host, Beltras, and I look forward to seeing you guys for game number 2. Let me know what your predictions are in the comment section on Twitch, and perhaps I'll even interact with you in the comment section if you want that.
You should know that I won't leave you. I'll stay beside you. I'm never letting you go. You've been lost and alone in the city anytime, but I will guide you understand. So many questions, why? Well, everybody's dancing, 'cause I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Since you took hold of my broken heart, just like a miracle.